Coluge is insane. While he has a very bad reputation, he's had a very extensive history in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 North American scene as one of the best tanks in there. With the loss of Super Hurts, Coluge is a fantastic player and I am really hyped to see him in the league. But can he compare to the other cracked off tanks in the league? Let's see. He had some success in some Tier 3 tournaments all the way back in 2017, but the main eye-catcher was that he played his last 17 tournament on GOATs. Yes, he was one of the legendary 6 who came up with that comp that cursed Pro Overwatch for an entire year. He would join Fractal Esports and have some very good success with them, but would fail to get past trials. We then go back to GOATs, where they created the comp, winning the Beat Invitational and Open Division. He, Gator, and Tensa were mostly the standouts of this comp. With him hitting great bombs and having great peel, he was one of the main reasons why they succeeded so much with that comp. He would fail to get into contenders with them though, but would make it in with Fractal Esports. It's also important to note here that Coluge was mixed up in quite a bit of drama. He was exposed for being a massive asshole in ranked, where he even admitted to throwing and boosting. There were some pretty serious accusations going around, and this would haunt him for the rest of his career. To this day, many people believe he should not be in the league due to these things. Despite happening so long ago, they were that bad. But despite this, his talent was undeniable. Nearly every thread about him, his massive amount of talent would be acknowledged. But would be followed up with, he's a toxic douchebag. So he changed his name to Hegon to signify a new beginning, and would join Wavecheck, and not do great. The team around him wasn't exactly great, and while they would do decently in Open Division, he would win a grand total of 3 games in 2 seasons of contenders with them. They'd simply be outclassed, though Coluge would never play especially poorly. He would go back to Open Division before being picked up by Second Wind, where he would perform extremely well, winning the first tournament of the season, and then being a semifinalist in the 4th, then playing out of his mind in the overall season playoffs, despite most of the team being picked up to the Vancouver Titans, dragging them to a very close 3rd place finish against Third Impact, one of the better teams at the time. I mean, he really played out of his mind. He had so many clutch bombs and eats, perfect peel and dives. It was great to watch. He's phenomenal. Also important to note here was that he was supposed to join the Titans along with most of Second Wind at this point, but he was denied either by the league or the team due to his past controversies. But he didn't let it get to him and he kept grinding. Second Wind would disband soon after, and Coluge would name change to Cucumber and join, Tier 2 Drama Alert Nation, later American Tornado. And he'd be amazing, easily the best off-tank in North American contenders. Him and Ryder would make for a disgusting tank duo, especially considering their previous synergy from Ghosts, and he would just be massively dominant. Their aggression and dives, and his bombs especially, were extremely cracked, and he was just an overall really solid rock for his team, on every single off-tank asked of him, which is something to note. While many off-tanks are diva one-tricks or have some weaknesses, Coluge is very flexible within his role. He would win Open Division and 2 Contenders Championships with them, then go on to win the Gauntlet and show match against British Hurricane with them, with the whole team pounding the whole time. He would be dropped going into 2021, but he would be quickly snatched up by Dark Mode NA after changing his name to Fortnite Fish, and he would continue to dominate. Also showing his stuff, filling Coluge's shoes to a great extent on American Tornado, Coluge would continue to impress, continuing to put out great performances, getting runner-up to his old team, but pulling up some pretty huge upsets against American Tornado at one point and even Uprising Academy. He'd go to Bobby Wasabi for a season but not play over false, and would be dropped afterwards. He would join Maryville Esports, but would then be picked up as Super's replacement on the San Francisco Shock, before getting to really play with them. Probably what you think of him as a character, Coluge is insanely good. He's been at the top of the scene for years now, despite having a few rough patches. It's undeniable that he's probably the top off-tank prospect coming into the league this year. He's a hard carry and is super flexible. He's not as good as Super, but he can definitely go toe-to-toe with most of the league. In fact, just coming off of N8 off-tanks, the only ones he's clearly worse than are Space, Hanbin, and Hawk. I don't think he's that much worse than Hanbin or Hawk. Coluge is easily competing with Hotba, Piggy, Kalios, False, Poco, arguably better than all of them, and he's going to pound. I'm happy to see him in the league, despite being a massive asshole. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit like and subscribe for more. I upload nearly daily Overwatch League content, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of Season 5, so any subscription helps greatly. Thanks.